two. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. Well, the school hoops and we're back for more. More guests and topics to explore. School hoops and school hoops and welcome back to the S.U.S podcast.
I guess I want to like kick this off. Wow, kick this off.
Pun intended.
From like one's football career to another. I guess I want to ask you, like, did you always want to play football? Or like, what was the moment you realized that you fell in love with football?
Actually, no. The first sport I ever played was tennis. Because I come from a tennis family. My sister played tennis. My grandpa played tennis. So I played it, and I was third grade. I think, yeah, I was third grade, and I was like, this is not for me. Like, I hated playing alone with just my coach. So I went to basketball after, and I was like, oh, cool, a team sport, right? And then I realized, wait a minute, I don't think I'm gonna grow any taller anytime soon. So, and then one lunchtime, you know how in lunchtime in CSA, people just like, oh, you wanna play randomly, whatever.
Yeah, there's so many
man.
groups of people like in the field just like playing
Yeah,
football
that's
in their
when they come back to
uniform.
the room after, they're
Yeah.
all sweaty and
it's
stuff.
sweaty as
Yeah, yeah.
So that's basically how I got introduced to football. I think Danny Cortez and Mati Custodio, I think, was like, hey, you want to play? And I'm like, yeah, sure. I played goalkeeper at the start, actually. And I enjoyed it. And then a few weeks later, they were like, you should try out for the team. And I was like, yeah, all right. And yeah, ever since like grade 5, I've been in the team since, yeah. But I don't know exactly what moment I fell in love with the sport. I think it just grew on me. Like, I was like, oh, this is a really fun sport. I'm enjoying the company of my teammates, and yeah, just fell in love with it throughout the years, basically.
Wow, that's such a yeah, na nga eh, like not having like a particular one moment and really just falling in love with it as the journey goes on. Like it's kind of like a driving force trying to keep at it. And like you were having fun, so clearly like it really made a big impact on you to keep with it. Diba?
Wait, I've always been curious now. Like, I've noticed that maybe I'm wrong, but particularly like rookies, usually they have like their head shaved. Is that like a thing?
Yeah, I have like the same question. Is it like a trend with football players?
I don't know who started it exactly, but the reason, well, what we know of the reason why we do that, it's to show commitment to the team and like how much you can sacrifice it for the team. So that's not something that it's like panggago lang na you guys have to shave your head, you guys are the team now. It's more of like, okay, how much are you willing to do for the team? And it starts with the bald head. It's yeah.
Oh, that's so true. It's like ultimate sacrifice because like that's your hair. Like
and when you're playing, it's like so hot. It's like
it's not gonna lie, it's breezy. It's just horrible when you wear a shirt. Because when you wear a shirt, the shirt gets stuck in the little strands of hair. Yeah. Pero presko, sobrang presko.
Okay. Pretty cool.
That's true. I always thought it was like a really humbling thing because like when you go around like pre-UAP season and then you see all the rookies, like me, I played football for a while and like the rookies from my batch and the guys, and then like they come in so siga and everything, and then you see them like pre-UAP and they're like really shy now because they're bald.
Yeah, I think I didn't want to go to school because that was the first time I had my head shaved, and I'm like, damn.
How are people gonna take this? Like first time they're seeing me like without hair.
But like it's funny because when that happened, I had to like, I had to call my rookies. Can we enter the school together?
Oh,
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Imagine like a group of bald boys.
Like,
The confidence goes up.
Like,
Yeah.
Goes up. No, we're in this together. So yeah.
Yeah.
As long as you're not alone, diba?
yeah, dude. I mean, if you're gonna go into it together and everyone shave their heads, like you should like go into it together talaga everywhere, like walk around
Sam,
together.
can you talk about life being a student athlete? Like, what were the advantages, the disadvantages, like throughout your school life, like balancing school and
Yeah.
like being committed to the team and all?
Um, I think first of all, I might not be the best person to ask this question, but advantages there were a lot. Not gonna lie.
Mhm.
Other than I guess getting the scholarship, that already is one of the biggest advantages. I don't have to pay for tuition, and that's a really big help. But other than that, like we get free things like Nike supplies us with shoes, bags. We go on trips for preseason. Like in my stay in Ateneo, we went to Bacolod, we went to Korea.
Wow.
But in terms of academics, there's not much advantages because Ateneo's, that's why it's student athlete and not athlete student. So you're a student first before an
Mhm.
athlete.
Yeah.
So I mean, don't get me wrong. There are a lot of teachers that understand that you have a game, that you're tired, but most of them is if you can't keep up, then we can't do anything about it. Like you still have to,
Mhm.
show up in class, submit all the requirements. The disadvantage, I guess, with being an athlete is your social life is very limited because well, with me maybe not because but yeah, your social life is limited because you can't go out um
Mhm.
during season. You're like you have to be 100% focused, not
Yeah.
drinking, not doing anything, and you have to make some sacrifices. Like some people that are not athletes, after class they go straight home, they go drinking out and katip and stuff. But sometimes we have to attend gym practice, we have trainings at nighttime, therapy sessions.
Mhm.
So but I think if you find your balance, then you're great. You're good. No need to worry about that. Yeah.
Yeah. Like the commitment talaga when you're a student athlete.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because
There's
Yeah.
a lot. Sorry. Like Ateneo is known for, we have student athletes, but if you fail the semester, the year, you're
Yeah.
kicked out right away.
Mhm.
Second chance for you. So I know there's a bunch of athletes that just stayed in Ateneo for 1 year, and then next thing you know they're out of it because they didn't get to balance their social life with their student athlete life
Mhm.
too.
Yeah, you're really a student first before you're an athlete.
Hard.
Yeah.
Imagine.
Especially in
Very hard.
college, man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
like
college it's so hard
college.
to not have
It's
like
Exactly.
any kind of social
Yeah.
life because like it's gonna take a toll on like your mental health also to like not be able to
Mhm,
see friends like every now and then, diba?
mhm.
Yeah. And
But I'd
like
like
being
to
a student
believe
athlete. Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead, man.
balance mine. Me and my teammates balanced it really well. Like we have this
Mm-hmm.
rule in Ateneo. Well, in my batch at least, like you can do whatever you want. You go out or whatever, sleep late, whatever. As long as when training starts, you're 100%, like you perform. That's your number
mhm.
one. Because we understand that we're in college. We understand that
Yeah,
there's
that's
so
true.
many things to experience in college. Like, this is not professional or anything. This is, you're still a college student. And, of course you want to have fun. Of course you want to meet people. And so the number one rule we just have is like show up in training, do well. Because if you don't, and we know that like you went out the night before, or like
Yeah.
you're partying and you don't perform in training, we'll have to like give you shit because we're so lenient
Mhm.
with everybody already. Yeah.
At least it
Yeah.
like
That's.
maintains the discipline without depriving you guys of like having the freedom to make your own choices. Cause like yeah, at that age, like, being like near adulting or like almost done with college, like it's good
Yeah.
that like you guys had the initiative to like make your own decisions, but to still like know what your priorities were, despite trying to like balance everything out. And super like fortunate that you guys were able to find the correct balance. Because I know that it's probably not an easy thing. I mean, if there are
Not at
people
all.
who, yeah, like,
Like I have a teammate, his name's Simon, and he's a beast on the field. He goes out with us sometimes, and he's like his course in Ateneo is ME, and that's like the one of
Wow.
like one of
That's
the
ME?
wild.
and he's like he has honors,
Bro.
I think, if I'm not mistaken, but like he grinds like on and off the field pretty galing actually.
Wow, hats off to that guy.
Yeah,
You're a trooper, man. That's
yeah,
so ME is
actually,
like I've heard so many scary things about ME talaga. Like it's
come to
really
think
like
of it, yeah.
one of the hardest courses. So to be able to
There's
Yeah,
a
that's
few.
so.
There's a few in my team that's ME also. Like JD's also ME. Just thinking about it, like yeah, yeah. Props to
congrats
my
to you guys.
Mhm.
boys.
You
Proud of
guys
my
are
boys.
you
Yeah,
guys
that's
did
why
it.
we have such a high level of like respect talaga for student athletes because it's no joke. And again, like especially in college, I mean, like some athletes who were athletes, student athletes, high school pa lang, they went through all of that, and then college they remain student athletes and they have to go through that also. Like just a commitment talaga to just you know balance your studies and your passion at the same time.
Yeah.
I like I know I know the question that we asked you earlier was like probably one of the most common questions that student athletes are asked. Like, how do you balance academics? How do you balance your like your sport, diba? But I think despite it being the most common question, it's also the most important, diba?
Mhm.
Because it kind of gives you a gauge of like
Yeah.
where your mindset is as a student athlete, and I feel like it's very important na, like you said, to have the balance
Yeah.
because it really helps. Yeah.
Can I add on to that? Like it also just shows like
Yeah.
how much you love being an athlete and how
Yeah.
much you love the sport, because you can't afford
Mhm.
to like lose your scholarship. You can't afford to lose like your playing time because you flunked, first semester or something like that. So
Yeah.
that makes
Yeah.
for me like a great athlete also now, to be committed to both, to understand that you need to do this in order to play. Yeah, like props to like the fellow athletes out there.
Do you have any words of wisdom or advice that you want to give to any like young athletes out there who might be listening to this?
um I guess like, play every game like it's your last, because you don't know when it's going to be your last game. There's so many factors that can affect it, like an injury, the pandemic, a change of career path or whatever. Like, so if there's one thing I regret, like I didn't play every game like it was my last. Like, there I had to admit there are a few games that I didn't give 100% back in high school, back in freshman year college. So, for athletes out there that are serious, because there are athletes that are not serious, that they just want to play for fun. But if you like really want it to be like, you want to make it to college, you want to make it to professional, you gotta play every game like 100% and work hard, because you have to be obsessed with the sport to be in a certain level. That's one thing I noticed also. So be obsessed and work hard, and
Mhm.
you'll definitely get there for sure.
So like concise and like just the perfect like
Yeah.
well you heard it everyone everyone who's listening like
Just embrace the whole
just embrace it,
experience.
love it, be
Yeah.
obsessed with it,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
live it like every game's your last. It's a really good
Mm-hmm.
like mentality to have.
Perfect mindset, man.
Yeah, na nga eh. Yeah.
Yeah, not just like in sports, but like in all aspects of your life.
Yeah.
Dapat. Yeah.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's true. Something that can be applied literally to like
Mm-hmm.
every aspect of your life, and to have that mindset, na, live every day na nga, like it's your last, because you never know what's gonna happen. Diba? Like look, this pandemic just like cut everyone's plans by like at least the next 2 to 3 years. So
Yeah.
like you gotta have that spirit to push on and just
Yeah.
live life to the fullest every day.
You learn so much values being in a team. You learn, to be responsible with time, to work with
Yeah.
other people. So yeah, that's something you definitely can bring on when you go older and you go in the real world, basically.
1, 2, 3, 4. Thanks for tuning in to more Screw Up Sales.